I'm Mary Miller, and this is my daughter Stacy. She just turned 9, and she's the one that had the horse that was killed and eaten right in our corral just over the hill in Diamond Creek. And we're very concerned, I am especially as a mother, because the wolves have come right into our front yard, literally our front yard. They stand at the door, they have defecated right by our porch. They stand right by Stacy's window and look in the window. Our front yard has been padded out. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the pictures of the wolf tracks all over our property. And at this point, I can't even send my own daughter out into the yard to play unless she has a dog with her. But then we're at the same time, we're scared to death because we don't know if the dogs are running interference or if the dogs are attracting them. And she was, one of the dogs that she had was attacked 20 yards from her in the yard well, it was about a month before the horse issue or incident. And, you know, what if there had been 2 wolves, or what if the dog hadn't been with her? You know, no one can answer that question, that the wolf wouldn't have attacked her. I am extremely concerned because these wolves are habituated. They're not scared of humans. They come right up. I have literally stood 40 yards away from this one alpha male that's been here in the aspen pack a number of times, looked him in the eye, and he is not scared at all. The Fish and Wildlife and the Game Department were very, very responsive when we had these incidences. And they've been right there. They've brought these remote controlled or remote activated boxes that go off with strobe lights and loud noises. But the problem is that doesn't affect the wolves, at least these that are habituated. We've run at them, thrown rocks at them, thrown sticks at them, and they just run off a little bit and stand there and look at you. So we've tried everything with our horses. We put the bells on. We put the bells on our dogs. And my biggest issue is these things in the hazing just don't work. And you cannot try and shoot rubber bullets and cracker shells at wolves at night, especially the ones that are not collared, from 40 yards away. It's dark. They're wild animals. They're top predators, and these things are just not going to work. And so, unless something's done about this, somebody's going to be hurt, if not killed. And once someone is dead, I mean, it's like the old saying, dead is dead. There's no bringing anybody back. And so I think this is something that's extremely serious, and everyone needs to be aware of it, and we need to do something about it. Now I want Jim to talk, because after the horse incident, we left the property, we went to another property that we had, and so we were gone for a while. And all of the different the hazing mechanisms were in place, but it wasn't effective. And Jim can tell you about that, because he has a receiver that we were given from Fish and Wildlife that will let us keep a general idea of where the wolves are.
I'm Jim Harris, and I'm a neighbor of pretty much everybody here. I took over trying to track the wolves and their activity, particularly immediately following the horse attack and the dog attack. I basically took up residence at that property for about 3 weeks. Game and Fish was on site every day, every morning, to help try and protect the rest of the horse herd. The problem was that the wolves continued to frequent that site. They'd become habituated to it. Between the horses and the dogs, there was at least one, if not more, wolves there every single day for 3 weeks. On recommendations from the various governmental agencies, we put bells on the horses. The very afternoon we put bells on the horses, we went out for an hour to pick up wood, came back, the horses had been stampeded by the wolves. They were being chased up the canyon. So the bells didn't work. They brought the RAG unit boxes out. Those are the radioactive guard units. We had one of those installed that very afternoon. It went off, and one of the wolves had come back to the site again. and plundered about the top of a hillside looking for that dead horse's leg. And he was up there for 30 minutes with that box going off, and it did not scare him, it did not run him off, it did not do anything. It just made a bunch of noise. Since that time, I've been tracking them on a daily basis. You know, one of the concerns that I have for this, just as an individual that lives here, is that the wolves are severely impacting everyone's life. You can't just go out your door and take your dog and go for a walk. You can't go out your door and get on your horse and go for a ride. During the hunting season, we had several incidents where people would be riding their ATVs, and an hour later you'd see the wolves running down the ATV track, following them. I mean, you can't just do anything, any of the enjoyment that you originally strove for when you tried to come into this environment new like I did, to enjoy the outdoors, because now you've got wolves that are literally at your back door. And they cover so much ground. I've tracked wolves in an hour and a half that have covered over 20 miles. You never know where they're going to be. You never know how long they're going to be there. You never know how many there are. I mean, it severely impacts everyone's life. You can't just get up and do something with your day. You have to track the animals first and then try to avoid them. And even that's not always successful, because they may decide that day to come back to where you want them to go.